Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we are going to make a simple bracelet using beads from our June Bargain Bead Box Summer Sunrise. Especially going to use this pretty pink carved agate as our focal. So let's turn down and we'll get to that. Okay, we've got our little packet of beads here. I'll drop that out to show you what all we got here. And we have some pink tourmaline soft flex medium beading wire, which we're going to put this on, a lobster claw, and a couple of jump rings. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this giant pink focal and we're going to put it in the middle, and then we're going to put other beads around it. Namely, we're going to put these, then these, come here you guys, these two here, these two over on this side, then another with the big orange, bing, bang, opposite this one, like this. Big orange again, and our pink. The oranges are all going to have a bead cap, and then there's a few of these type of spacers. They're going to go between the pink and the gold colored ones. And then we have a couple of crimp tubes in here as well. Wherever the second one went to, it's here somewhere. There it is. So anyway, that is what our pattern is going to be. Really simple and really pretty. We'll get out some of our beading wire here. In fact, since it's going to be, I'm just going to bead this straight, I'm going to just bead right off the spool here. Then when it's strung, we'll cut it off, because we're going to need to know exactly what size this is. Come on, there we go. Now, since this is a straight beading project, this actually should go pretty fast. The biggest thing is making sure that when we get to the end, we're not either making it way too big or way too small. Of course, if we made it too small, we could always put an extender chain on it, and that way people with smaller wrists could wear it, as well as people with larger wrists. Now, if you wanted a smaller, if it turns out too big for what you want, then you just take off some of the end beads. This is going to be such a pretty focal, isn't it? And it's carved on both sides, so you're not, if it flips, it's not going to lose its design, which is good. So we're half done, and we're just going to go and do exactly the same over here as we did on this side. There we go, we're all strung. Now I'm going to put a bead stopper on this side and roll this one down some and tighten our bead stopper up. And then I'm just going to cut this right here, because I know I'm not going to make it any bigger. If anything, I'll probably make it a little smaller. So let's see what that measures on the, now see, because this says it's 7.5 inches, almost going towards 8, and we're not going to want that big. Of course, it's not going to make it that big when we put it on the sizer. It will be about, bring you up, though it is very, very close to that 7 inches, and with our jump ring and things, I think we may go over it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off these 2 little pink ones. I think they're too much, and then we'll recheck our sizing and probably put our lobster claw on. So even though those little pink ones looked really nice there on the end, they were a bit too much. So here we are again at 7. There's 7. We are about, now we're about 3/4 of an inch off. But I think we're still good because, like I say, we do need to put on our lobster claw and crimp it down. So let's go ahead and, now if I wanted to be sure how big it was going to be, I could take and put these on but not crimp them up and check the sizing, and we could do that still, because we may want to put one of those the pink bead back on. Never can tell about these things. So come on, baby, go through that cap. I really want you to go through that cap. There should be room for it to go through there, but it doesn't seem to want to. Well, since it doesn't want to, we'll just pull it up sort of to where it should be. And slide the beads over there. Then we'll put the lobster claw, oops, we won't need the jumper, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up our little jump ring here. And that one slid off, I noticed, so we'll probably put it on. So I'm going to open this baby up, and put the lobster claw on it. And we're going to put this right on here. And so we can test for sure what the size is going to be. Now, since this wants to be difficult and not go through the, oh, it did on this one, excellent. So we'll, but it doesn't seem to want to go through the second one, which is a pain in the, see if it will. Nope. Okay, let's pull this baby up to where it belongs. This one would be just a bit tighter here. All the way, people, all the way. Okay. And this one's supposed to have this jump ring on here, so we will put it back in place here. and tighten it up. Now that we have it tightened, we will excuse me, we will hook this up here, and we'll see how big it actually ends up being here. Ooh, even bigger than I thought, because it's still 7.5, almost 7 3/4. We may need to take off the orange ones. So let's unhook her here and take off the orange ones and see how we end up here. Come on, baby. Okay, let's put this side back together, see where we're at. Like I say, if I end up making it too small, I can always put a little bit of an extender chain on here, and that will take up any excess slack we need. So let's check this sizing now that we've taken out the orange ones and see. Now it's looking a little small to me, but we can't really put the pink ones back on because they are outside of the pattern. Yeah, see, now it's only 6.5, 6 3/4. So I think what I am going to do is crimp this up where it's at. Then we're going to put a small extender chain on here and maybe make a little dangle with some of these, like so. And that would be really cute. So let's do that. We'll get these crimped right now and put a little bit of extra chain on here to make it slightly larger for people who have smaller wrists. So let's get that crimp right in there and crimp, and we'll turn it and crimp again. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So let's cut this extra wire off. Slide this over here. Get the crimped in and get this side here now. Okay, Now we've got this side all crimped and down, and like I say, we will recheck it, but when we checked it a moment ago, it was about 6.5 inches. And I think it will probably stay that size, so let's check. It does look a little small to me as it is finished here, but we will slide it down here, and yeah, see, it's about it's about 6.5, so we need about a 1/2 inch to make it 7. Of course, there are some people with really small wrists, so what we're going to do is we need some chain that is big enough that the links here will go through it, and I think I have an extender chain here somewhere. I just have to look for it. I'll be right back. Well, I didn't find the little extender chains, and I think they're brass anyway, but I did find this really pretty little hearts. Aren't those cute? So I'm going to cut like, oh, say about 1 inch, 1.5 inches of hearts off here, and we will use it as extender chain. Isn't it cute? And all you have to do is just take your regular one, and this should fit in here just fine. These hearts are good enough sized. I think they'll fit. Yeah, they will. See? So what we're just have to do right now is to open this jump ring, and then we'll hook our little hearts onto there. Close her up. Okay, that's closed. Now, as you can see, now we can put it wherever we want on here, and making it be quite a bit larger. In fact, it's probably at least back to that 7.5 by now. Oh, it's all the way down to 8. So if you had someone who wanted it, who had a large wrist, this would work perfectly. So now that we have that done, I'm going to put our hook about halfway through, maybe 3/4, and then we're going to make a dangle with these pretty beads here. So we need a head pin. And I tend to use ball head pins. So we'll see if I can find me one here. And that one's copper. We don't want copper. There's a gold one. So take and straighten this with my fingers a bit because it's a little bit crooked. And then all we're going to do is put this orange one here on the bottom with its bead caps. And the little pink one on top of it. So it's going to be a pretty good sized dangle, but it's so cute. So then we'll take our pliers and bend it over. Get our bell making pliers, go into there. We just need a small loop, so we'll go over with the smallest one. Go over and around, drop it down, bring it over and straighten her up some. Leave a small gap because we're going to go on to that last heart. So it's just going to feed right onto our little heart here. Then we'll grab it with with this plier here where it comes together. Now I know you notice it's got to be, I want this either straight across or slightly going upwards, because otherwise it's not going to start wrapping where you want it, which is right there at the edge of where they come together. Then just carefully wrap so that one wrap goes right next to the other one. So once you get that done, you can trim that a little bit off. And tuck it in. Come on, baby, tuck. There we go. That looks pretty good. And there she is. She's done. Isn't that pretty? Now we just have, but we do now still have these little extras we need to put away, but that's all right. This little dangle comes down on its hearts. As I have it sitting right now, it is exactly 7 inches. With it, you can, like I say, you got another inch. So it really only needed very, very little. I could have switched the smaller jump ring to a larger one, and it probably, you know, the larger jump rings, and it probably would have been big enough without having to put the extender chain on. But we like the extender chain. It's pretty. So there we go. One pretty little bracelet with a little tiny heart chain extenders. So there we have it. There is our pretty pink and orange bracelet using our Bargain Bead Box Summer Sunrise, which was our June box. I think it turned out very pretty. It's got the little extender chain with a little dangle. Right now it is set so that it is 7 inches. With the dangle you can go up to 8, I mean with the extender. Or you can take these last few off and you'll be about 6 3/4. So there you go. Isn't that pretty? I really enjoyed making this really pretty necklace, bracelet, and I hope you enjoyed making it with me. Again, this has been using the June Bargain Bead Box Summer Sunrise. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.